This is TWiT.
Speaking of Windows Phone, well, let's not. The New York Police Department would prefer you don't mention that, if you don't mind.
Actually, I do want to mention that because
30. What did they buy? 36,000 Windows phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, but here's the thing: when that story first broke the other day, Brad excitedly contacted me on Skype, and we were kind of shooting jokes back and forth about it. And he said, "Are you going to write about this? Because if you're not going to write about this, I'm going to write about this." And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to write about this. It would just come off as hateful, well, because it's ludicrous. Like 2 years ago when they adopted this platform, they never should have done that. Microsoft had announced their intention to abandon the platform in 2 years anyway, and it never made any sense to me.
Yeah, it was
so my take on this was just let this toilet flush by itself. I have nothing to do with it. It's fine. All right, but here's the thing. The woman, all right, so the New York Post, in addition, in other words, for us in the tech industry, we see this as kind of a Windows Phone story, right? But actually, what this was really about was the woman who single-handedly made this decision from within the New York Police Department. And they really kind of tore her apart. It was kind of a terrible personal attack. Maybe this is what the New York Post does.
That's the Post. That's the Post.
It was kind of awful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking, for people who don't know the story, we're talking about Jessica Tisch, who was the Police Deputy Commissioner of Information Technology. She, 2 years ago, made the decision that the New York Police Department would buy 36,000 Windows phones. And at the time, it was like this huge win for Windows Phone.
Yep. And we talk about enthusiasts, and you have to think like the guys who are kind of Microsoft enthusiasts saw this as one of those end of the war, come from behind victories. Like, see, guys, the platform's not dead. People see a use in it, and blah blah blah, whatever. So, okay, I just saw this story, and I said, I'm not touching this. It's too ugly. There's no point in it. I don't want to add fuel to the fire. But then that woman wrote a retort to the New York Times, and I understand why. I understand why she did it, but my God, did she blow it?
What'd she say?
Really did.
Because the thing is, they attacked her personally. And so what she was trying to do was demonstrate that she made a good decision. Oh. But what she did in doing that was revealed why they chose Windows Phone.
Oh, which was?
It's terrible.
Oh, no.
I'll just say this as far as the personal attacks. Well, she tried to justify it by saying, during this time period, we saved so many lives and answered so many 911 calls and blah, blah, whatever it was.
Such a good idea.
That stuff could have happened with any phone. It had nothing to do with any special powers that Windows Phone had. This is why they adopted Windows Phone. They got 36,000 Windows phones for free.
Yeah.
And whoever was giving them those phones for free was also going to give them another 36,000 phones for free 2 years later as replacements. In other words, iPhones probably would have been $500 a piece.
Right.
Windows phones were $0 a piece.
It was a good deal,
I can't do this math. What's 500 times 72,000? That's how much money they saved.
It's a good deal.
Yeah.
That's why they did it. Not because it was the best platform, not because it made a particular amount of sense, not because it was Windows. It was free. It was free phones. And it's like I
know. You could just see Microsoft. You could see Microsoft sitting there. They gave me this really lame statement about, we're really proud of our Windows Phone deal with the NYPD still. And then this woman reveals it was a giveaway. And that's the only reason they did it. And you could just see them all sitting there like, oh.
So, if you look, if you cared about this platform, if you still care about this platform, this is just, I refer to it today as the final insult. This is the final middle finger extended toward this platform and its users and fans. It's just that one little bit of hope you had at the end wasn't just futile. It was like laughably off base. Like they just gave them away.
I know. So you want to hear why I wrote about it, though? And I felt the same way Paul did when I first saw it. I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, but what's more worrisome to me about this story is Microsoft held up the NYPD as an example of the kind of customer that it thought it could still attract with some kind of a mobile device.
The customers that want free things.
Yeah, give away stuff. You could attract some great customers.
Those people aren't called customers, by the way.
But they kept saying, like, we know we got beat in the consumer phone space by iPhone and Android.
Look at the enterprise space.
Look at the enterprise. And here is an example of the kind of thing, like, where they bought the platform so that they could take advantage of our better security and our manageability and blah, blah, blah. So now that that lie has been shown, right? And so then,
but this woman lashing out at the New York Post,
I know,
trying to demonstrate that they were wrong about her.
Yeah,
it's like
I know.
But I mean, doesn't this happen all the time in enterprise? I mean, this is not an unusual.
No, giveaways happen all the time, and they don't. What's funny is they can't say free. They can't say it was free. They say at no cost. That's kind of like the secret jargon for we gave them the hardware for free, and maybe the software cost a penny or whatever. Right?
But then we'll get management fees, and it's a great demo.
Yeah.
The reason you give someone something for free is that you hope they are going to pay for it on an ongoing basis, right?
Exactly.
We give PC buyers a free copy of Office 365 Personal because we expect that next year they're going to pay for it, and then they'll pay for it going forward. It makes sense. That's like a business decision.
Yeah.
These guys quit before they could even get the replacement.
No, did you see?
And by the way, suddenly iOS is just fine.
No, this was even more interesting. Last October, the NYPD gave an interview to CNET, and they said, we're already looking at replacing these phones with Windows 10 Mobile and blah, blah, blah. We've already made the decision. We're going with Windows Phone. Wow. Okay, that was October 2016, right? So they were still saying they were going to stay with Windows Phone, even late last year. So, yeah. And, the Post said it was because they couldn't upgrade from Windows Phone 8.1, which Microsoft is no longer supporting. That actually was not true. Both of those phone models they bought could have been upgraded to a version of Windows 10 Mobile. So that actually wasn't even the excuse.
Now, you're a New Yorker, Mary Jo, so you clarify this for me. The New York Post is considered the bastion of journalism in Lower Manhattan.
Oh, close.
Yeah.
I think the term you're looking for is rag.
but you know what? Every once in a while, they get a great tech scoop.
That was a good scoop.
It was a great scoop.
And thanks to this commissioner writing about it, it became a really good scoop.
I know.
Listen, I completely get the human aspect of this story. They really did throw under a bus. It was terrible.
It got a lot of press.
It was terrible.
Right?
Let's find out something. Let's find people who will say something negative about this woman. Do we have a couple of them? Great. Let's quote those guys and not say who they are. Yeah. I mean, it's just such a terrible kind of hit job.
But if you, and I think we can presume this, if you say that NYPD was going to buy somebody's phone, so they were going to pay all the costs, the management fees, everything, and instead Microsoft said, no, we'll give it to you. She should be lionized. As you said, Paul, she saved them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she got it for free. Apple wasn't going to give it to him for free.
Yes.
And the problem as you say, the phone did the same thing as any other phone would have done.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were joking about Windows Phone the other day on Twitter because I was on Twitter. That's what I do.
That's what you
do. The phones it's not like you're downloading Candy Crush on the thing, right? No. I mean, they're designed they have custom apps, and that's what they do. So, the iPhones that these people will be using in the future will probably be locked down in some way to prevent them from downloading Candy Crush or whatever. I mean, it's that stuff kind of doesn't matter. But the point, though, I mean, are Windows phones particularly stable? I mean, especially when you move to Windows 10 Mobile, I don't think many people would make that claim.
Well,
I don't know.
When they were when Microsoft was trying to make the case that we still have a chance at the business customer, their whole thing was, all they want are custom apps on their device. We can deliver that. We can help out with that.
We can do, yeah.
Right, but now that this has happened, it makes me wonder if it's making the Microsoft people who still believe they should and could make a telephony-enabled mobile device wonder. Right? If this happened, should they do this?
What an opportunity.
I sort of feel like Microsoft needs to stick to their strengths, right? And so when you think about their mobile initiatives, you can pick any one you want. They've all failed.
Yeah.
But what has Microsoft done particularly well all of a sudden? They released this kind of old school laptop that's been sitting in the lab for 3 years.
Yeah, funny.
Using last year's actually 2 years ago technology. And people love it. And they love it.
I know.
And maybe that's the kind of thing Microsoft needs to focus on, the kind of meat and potatoes of the PC productivity world, and not these kind of goofy, tertiary initiatives that I don't think are going to ever go anywhere.
Agree.
It's an interesting story. I like it.
Yep.
I'm glad you ended up covering it.